Let's find out, shall we? Don't worry, it gets bloody worse. Of course, if you're not driving recklessly. Like, can you make any of this up? Hello, my love. Hello, my love. Anyway, what did I mean by job's worth? Where are we today then, boy? Let's find out, shall we? Welcome to Bamberg. I need to cover these laws here with recording for people. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Let me find a seat and I'll explain more. Look at this absolute beauty. Recording in Germany, listen to this. Filming in public allowed. People, cars in the background, okay. Filming private areas, recording audio secretly, criminal offence in Germany. Fines are up to 3 years in prison. Post recognisable people without consent, civil case, they can demand takedown, damages, legal costs, commercial use without consent, even bigger damages. Most common real world outcome, a lawyer demanding that the platform takes down your videos. What the hell is that about? As you can see, I've got a bit of a problem here because, yes, it's basically if you record their faces, focusing on their faces or harass them, i.e. Cracker Vitality or Vitaly or whatever his bloody name was. This is a shame because I was told this was a beautiful town as well, but no, it's not worth my time. I don't bow down to nonsense. That is ridiculous. Well, I had to record this, am I? I don't know. It doesn't matter because we're not uploading until we've left. And I'm not coming here again. Germany's on the list. The never return list, along with Prague, along with North Fintanal bloody Island. Jesus Christ. Let's get out of here then, boy. Oh, God. Where is the freedom that slowly, throughout the world, freedom's getting removed? It's heartbreaking, that. Let's see what else is bonkers country sport, shall we? No pillow fights in public. It is deemed as dangerous. In German law, a pillow can be classified as a passive weapon. If you use it to smother or injure, it's been cited in court, obviously, yeah. But a pillow fight in public, geez Louise. Out hours, drilling or mowing at lunchtime between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Wrong way parking. You must park facing the direction of travel unless it's a one-way street. Otherwise, it's a small fine, up to and around €20. Running out of fuel on the autobahn. Considered preventable, you can be fined for stopping on the autobahn without a valid reason. Like your day isn't bonkers enough as it is. No overtaking a school bus, right? Winter tyres, no, boring. Car washing. In many towns, it's illegal to wash on the street, in the street, outside your home. Spare spectacles. Professional drivers, truck, bus, taxi drivers must carry a second pair of glasses should their other ones run out. Oh God, you probably should have just let me film around here, Germany. Don't worry, it gets bloody worse. Quiet flushing. House rules often ban noisy toilet flushing or showers after 10 p.m. Mailbox rule. If you have a mailbox, you are to have your name on it. No name, no post. TV license and whatnot. Even if you haven't got a television, you still have to pay. Recycling rules. Rigid sorting into paper, plastics, bio-residential and blah blah blah, colour bins and whatnot. Sundays illegal. You can't recycle on Sundays. No grocery shopping on Sundays. It is illegal. All shops except petrol stations and bakeries, and this is only for a few hours, are closed. Bans on loud activities on Sundays. No DIY. The one day you've got off, probably. Drilling, mowing, loud removals. This is under something called the RUHETAG law. It gets worse, wait there. Baby names. Baby names are vetted and can be declined or denied if they feel like it, if they feel like it's political or offensive, right? A name you've chosen, they can deny it. Church tax. Church tax. Each resident is registered to the church, pay 8 to 9% tax on their income to the church via the state. What are they paying for? The surround sound in the bell, are they? Jesus. It's 3 minutes past 12. So you're not allowed to mow your lawn, right? Or recycle. But that's got no dramas in ruining your day. Just so happens, and just coincidence, that I don't mind it. But I'm not joking, that is loud. I don't know if the camera's doing this justice. Don't worry, it gets worse. Crossing at red lights. I wondered why. I'm fearful of what to record around here whilst I'm here, but mark my words, I'm not coming here again, ever. There's red lights. There's like pedestrian crossing, like zebra crossing kind of things. Jesus Christ, like zebra crossing kind of things, but without the zebra crossing. If you cross on a red light as a pedestrian, you could be fined between 5 and 10 euros on the spot. Even more if children are present. Escaping from prison, not illegal. Germany treats the urge for freedom as natural. You're punished for damage or crimes during the escape, but not the escape itself. It gets worse. It is 5 minutes past. That has been bellowing the entire time. 6 minutes past. 7 minutes past, and it seems to be quieting down a little bit now. Let's go back to the crossing at red lights. People will stop even at 3 in the morning with no traffic around just to avoid this fine. They will stand waiting at a red light, right? That is bizarre to me. Bans on spontaneous dancing. It's called the I'll spell it, TANZVERBOT. It means at certain religious holidays, i.e. Good Friday, a ban on public dancing, clubbing is illegal. Display of, we're in Germany, right? Certain symbols, strictly banned, unless it's for journalism or art. Fines and criminal charges possible. Right, so unless they're earning from it, it's banned. Journalism and art. FKK, public nudity zones, right? Legal in certain parks, beaches, but only in designated areas. I'll give them that, but still. You can't cross the road where you want if there's no cars, but you can get your tackle out, right? Foraging, you can collect a small personal basket, but any large-scale foraging, what the earth has grown, is strictly illegal, especially grapes. Yeah, mate, let me just go and try and find my grape tree around here. This one's going to sound like I'm making it up. I'll spell it first before I go into it. It's called... Don't start. It's called the Hundesteuer, Hundesteuer, dog tax, right? Every council, essentially, it's called something else here, but every council charges an annual tax for owning a dog. Typical rate is between 30 and 150 euros per dog per year. Some towns charge more for a second dog, or for breeds if they're deemed dangerous, on the dangerous list. I won't even go into that because he's probably a dog tax. So what's legal here but not shouldn't necessarily be, in the opinion of the rest of the world, right? Let's touch on this. The Snoop Dogg Jessie J, the green stuff that we all love and admire, Since April 2024, adults can possess up to 25 grams, that's just shy of an ounce, bearing in mind, on their person walking the street. At home, you're allowed 50 grams. You're allowed to also grow 3 plants and join them clubs, but again, they have restricted this bit, so no doing it near schools, playgrounds, or before 8 o'clock in pedestrian zones. Right. The toxic liquid. It's legal from 16. Beer and wine is legal. Wine. Have you ever had a bottle of wine? Legal from 16, whereas spirits legal from 18. Public getting boozy woozy is allowed unless a ban is posted. Right, yeah, okay, I get that, but you can go and buy 3 bottles of wine when you're 16 from a shop. Yeah, cheers. Ladies of the night, legal but regulated. Workers must register, pay tax, undergo health checks. I can't say that word, but yeah, the establishments in which they work from, permitted under zoning rules, basically. I don't know what zoning rules mean. Autobahn. About 70% of the Autobahn has no fixed speed limit and is an advisory of 130 kilometers an hour, which I think is about 80 odd miles per hour. Just to clarify, you can get paralytic on a bench, any bench you like, in front of children. However, if you cross the road in front of a child, you can be fined up to 60. That's cool as well. Look, let's not show the reg now, otherwise we get 35 years. But don't worry, boy, we're allowed to try and escape. Furthermore, you can be on the way to your job. Your job in this instance is selling your hoop, right? Quite literally. You can be on the way to work to sell your hoop, carrying 25 grams, and in my opinion, of the good stuff, yeah, granted, but going off the other rules, mate, like, what? After 8 PM, you are allowed to smoke it on the way to work to sell your hoop, just as long as you've paid your greyhound / golden retriever / border collie tax, your TV / radio tax, even if you haven't got one or either, and your church tax. That's only if you've registered, granted. That's only if you've registered at a church, like the big church, the big religions. But to leave the church, you have to pay a small fine or a small fee. This is legit, I'm not making this up. Who's this, the ticket man? Oh my god, it's even worse. Oh, this one's from Latvia, so it doesn't matter. You can record that guy. Hey! Look it up. Honestly, this is bonkers. All of that being said, all of that is true, by the way. I'm not making any of that up. You know, I've just done a quick search on bonkers rules in Germany, basically. I'm not making any of that up. That being said, though, the Autobahn, I think it said 70%, I'm not going back through the notes, 70% of it is unlimited. I mean, you can pedal to the metal like in your Bugatti Chiron, if you have one. On a motorway. The Autobahn isn't always 3 lanes either. In fact, it's very rare it's a 3-lane little bad boy road. It's a dual carriageway, like. You can do that, but saying this and not having a dig, because I don't want to, well, you know, it's not even slander, it's the truth. They are very good drivers. They are very, very, very good drivers, and reportedly it's one of the lowest on planet Earth for accidents, even though they literally can do what I've just said. Like, you can have a rocket ship and you can just blast through. Of course, if you're not driving recklessly and racing and whatnot, but you can go as fast as you like. They're good drivers. Everything seems to work. Everything's not clean as I imagined. I mean, here we go, look. that's just there. But all right, that was me. No, I'm joking. I carry my stuff with me. So they are good drivers, and should there be a 3-lane little bad boy, i.e. the UK's version of a motorway, there will be no middle lane hoggers. There'll be no fast lane hoggers. They'll be in the fast lane, but believe me when I say they've qualified to be in the fast lane, and they're there for safety, like, so they're not anywhere near the lorries, you know, which makes sense to me. Everything seems to work as well. In my humble opinion, the traffic light thing, my God. Well, I think they call it, was that jaywalking in America, is it? Are you allowed to just cross the road in America? I don't actually know. But if, you know, that's just weird, you know. There's a program called the UNA, or Uni, we'll say BOMA, right? Uni, BOMA. There's a what is it called? What is it? I think it's like a documentary, or is it a docu-series kind of thing? So it's a true story. He was fully against stuff like this. He would have had a field day here, that bloke. Like, I'm not saying I condone that, but I mean, that was his point. Because some of these rules are ridiculous, but again, they're rules, you know, and I will adhere to them. Especially now I know you can't just cross the road where you bloody like. Until I'm out of here, I'll leave here the day after tomorrow. But it doesn't make sense to me. Does it you? Like, honestly, think about it. You don't have to put it in the comments, although that will help the bloody views. But does it make sense to you, what I've just read out there? Germany. They're very stern as well. They're very like straight to the point. Like, they won't sugarcoat anything. Like, they'll just be straight to the point. And but everything works. I mean, look at their economy. Look at their bloody. They say at a time they're going to do roadworks here. There will be an army of roadwork truckers waiting. Way before the time, ready to on the clock. And I'll tell you what, it will be finished when they say it's going to be finished. None of this M5 stuff, but it's like one of them. Like, is the struggle, is the stress, is the sternness worth the lack of freedom? I mean, you're paying for a TV license even if you haven't got one, you know. This is German, not UK. This is German. Yeah, you're on paper, you're loaded. It's not my place to agree with it or disagree with it. I will adhere to the rules, like I said, I will. And I have been. But would I live here? Knowing what I know now, absolutely not. The recording people, touching back on that, that's if you're like following, harassing people, and they're the main objective of your video. You're like recording someone, sort of thing. But that I agree with, because some of the video. I mean, who's that cycling Mikey bloke? I know he's there for the right reason, but you're just intruding in people's lives. Like, I'll wrap this bit up here before I get in trouble. But overall, you know, I love it. I love Germany, I do. But just chill out. You're allowed to carry enough of the. Have some, like, chill out. You'll be a lot more happier, believe me. And I can't wait to get to the Netherlands. You love this effect, don't you? I know what's a good idea. Let's go in the deepest, darkest forest that's known for having a million boar. Especially with the luck I've been having lately, you can guarantee, and it's getting dusk as well. God. Apparently here, I've just done a quick check, there's really dodgy, dangerous caterpillar here. It says they have yellow webs or something. I was like, are we talking about caterpillars here, mate? Or are we talking about spiders? But that's what it said. But don't quote me on that, because that's not making sense to me. Right, they're called processionary caterpillars. Watch oak trees. Can I remember what an oak tree looks like? Can I remember what a bloody oak tree looks like? Of course I can't remember what a bloody oak tree looks like. Is that an oak tree? Is that an oak tree? I have no idea. In late spring, summer, the hairy nests, oh it says nests, not web. Where did I get bloody web from? Can irritate your skin and lungs. Snakes, only the adder roams. Oh, good. Cheers for that. What was that? Wild boar. Common in the woods but shy. Boars can be defensive with the young. Keep Brucey on the lead. Also, it has got wolves. Extremely rare in this region, however they have been known to be here. We're in the Bavaria region. What does that mean? Well, your guess is as good as mine on that one. I don't know why I love the woods so much, because I'm terrified every time I come in here. Only when I'm abroad, mind. What is that as well? Because I simply don't know them. The boar then, they're only territorial, although they, they're looking after their piglets basically. That's what they're doing, that's all they're doing, like you do, like I would if I had a child. That's all they're doing, but the animal version means, let's go. That's what that means. Where are you going, boy? Watch what you're doing. So March through to May is the big window for piglets. However, be aware, it's an all year. They look after them for a year. So yeah, sort of similar to ourselves. Well, no, it's not similar to ourselves, is it? You're one now, child. Time to go get a job. Get out. I was thinking of pregnancy then. But they look after the piglets for an entire year before they leave the breast and go on their own way. Like, something to be aware of when you're out here. So yeah, really good idea to come amongst the bloody German woods known to be rife with bloody wild boar. Again, the main problem though is saying all that, same as Scandinavia. Ticks. Look, can you make any of this up? Watch me walk into a bear trap. There's not even bears here, but I'll find one. I'll find one. Look at this, look at this. Look at that. And these are bloody Solomons as well. Designed for grip. Designed to keep you afloat. Designed to help you keep stable and able to complete the trek at hand. Nothing against that tree though, is it? God, what do you want, boy? I'm stuck on a bloody... What do you want? This is... You want a kit? You need some bloody Calgon or something. Not Calgon. In fact, yeah, you do need Calgon actually, to be honest with you, boy. I meant Colgate. I bloody love this dog. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, your breath is leaping, son. I love this dog. I do feel like I've been a bit too harsh on Germany. Do I recommend it? I'll answer this right now. Yes, 100% yes. It's just I'm more, and again, this is just my humble opinion. Take it with a pinch of salt if you must, like, or listen to it. It's entirely up to you. But if you're watching this, chances are you're similar to myself. I don't like stressful situations. I don't like people who are jobs worths. I don't like them type of things. If I was to describe myself, I'd say I'm free. I'm a free little spirit, and I walking around. Don't judge anyone unless they cross a line in one way or another. By jobs worths, what I mean is people are just strictly to the book. And in my opinion, it's an imaginary book. It's made up. You don't see, and this is not getting into the realms of criticising society at all. This is just my opinion. This is just how I live. For example, I've seen a park that says no dog signs, no dogs allowed. I'm like, mate, what? Like, to me, that's too much to the book. Way too close for comfort. Oh my God. R2-D2's bloody nan's here, look. What is that? Hey, let's go and investigate, boy. And his granddad. You love R2-D2's nan, don't you? Watch one of them bloody caterpillars or adders being here as well. Oh my God, there is a big dirty nest thing. What is that? Oh, it's a web. Yeah, to the book. Too much to the book. It's just tiring, like I said. And I believe this. I genuinely believe this. Where's the dog? Hey, boy! Hello, my boy! Right, you want me to come down? Alright. Hello, my love. Hello, my love. It's the first time I've found a woods or a place where it's relatively safe / you're allowed to let your dog roam. Yeah, you got the boar worries and stuff like that, but they're just a dusk till dawn thing. That's when they come alive, and like it says online, and you can search this yourself, they're wary of humans. Like, so that says to me, and they'll go, like, you know. But again, don't fully quote me on that. Because half the time I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, bearing in mind as well, they can grow up to like 100 kilograms here, 75 to 100 kilograms, which is that's the bracket I'm in. So a pig rocking the same weight as yourself with tusks, best to be a little bit cautious. Anyway, what did I mean by job's worth? Something I genuinely believe is you've never seen squirrels trading nuts. You've never seen beehives slide in another beehive a bit of honey. You've never seen that, ever. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because the world we live in, like for example, I seen a video the other day of a bloody ant jumping. I didn't know that was a thing, but yet we do our equivalent of that. And again, just to reiterate, this is not a dig at the societal bloody system. This is, however, I'm just not interested, mate. I'm literally not interested. This bloody walk is growing arms and legs, like. This really is a woods. Come on, boy, let's go and find a poisonous adder, tick, boar, wolf. Come on then, boy. Good boy. We do though, don't we? We trade nonsense, made up stuff. And it's like, and then you have people, I understand we need to, you know, eat. I understand that. You have people enforcing that rule to the extent where, for example, like the elderly ladies around here, this is something my friend, there's my van. I nearly walked past the bloody van. Can you see that? Right. To the example where my friend said that the elderly ladies around here will grass you in if your car is failing to adhere to the rule of pointing your cars in the same direction, unless on a one-way street. Well, unless on a one-way street. Okay, so which car is going the other way down the one-way street? Shouldn't you be more concerned about that, mate? Like, you know, this is a small example of what I'm talking about. That for me, to me, is like, it doesn't interest me whatsoever, that stuff. It's just noise. That's why I say live your life, and when you do, and you know, your world changes. The sun is brighter, the grass is greener, the trees are more full of tree, if you know what I mean. Well, I hope you do, because I don't. But you know, it's just a better way of life, and I've lived the life expected of us. I've been in the military. I was in there for 15 years. I went down the property avenue. I became a landlord. You know, this is like the pinnacle of society, isn't it? I've had the stupid car, I've had the stupid jewellery, I've had the, you know, the 5-star stupid holidays. 'Cause I'll tell you what, I'll tell you something for free. Being in the woods in a little small rubbish falling apart van is the happiest I have ever been. And on the reverse side of that, going back to Germany, it's very, the silly, but I consider silly nonsense, you know, there are exceptions to that. You know, I do agree with laws and rules and whatnot. But you got people policing nonsense, if that makes sense. I hope the point was made it to you in the end. Like, but yeah, there's, as far as Germany goes, it's lovely. It's very picturesque. It's got everything. It's got the woods. It's got the you know, that's where you go skiing. It's like the German bloody Alps. You got the forest, massive forest. You got bloody, well, they reintroduced wolves a couple of years ago. They weren't here for 100 years. Rumour has it. Again, this was just a ChatGPT check, so it's probably wrong. They reintroduced them a couple of years ago. I mean, like 2022, I think it said. Oh, don't quote me on that. It's got the cathedrals, it's got the towns, it's got the cities, it's got the rivers, it's got the, you know, the foods, and it's not very expensive either. Fuel was reasonably in and around the same price as the UK, if I'm being honest. But that food shop earlier on wasn't. I think it's fair to say it's probably 30% cheaper. I was expecting probably about 65 quid for what I got, and I think it was about 40 something. Probably not 30%, but you know what I mean. My friend was moaning about the cigarettes scenario. He was talking about oh, they're expensive now. They're €8 for 30 grams. I was like, I beg your pardon? Do you want to know how much they are in the UK? I said they're touching 48 quid. I know that's for a 50 gram. But that's how much it is there. This, you know, it's better than the UK. 2 to the book for me. But don't let me put you off. Don't let me put you off on any of these places. Just be aware, I've grown out of the nonsense noise like years ago since my plane crash. I question everything. It doesn't make sense to me, certain things. Just be aware of that. And it's as simple as that. Tomorrow then, well, I'll touch on tomorrow, but we are staying in Germany. I'll give you a little brief thing. We are staying in Germany, but we're going, never eat shredded. What was the other one? Was it wheat? Or was it feet? I can't remember. We're going west tomorrow on our way to his 20th country boy. Don't kiss me in the woods, boy. Someone might bloody be spying in R2-D2's great uncle. I'm like, oh, someone kissing a bloody dog in the woods. Has he paid his dog tax? You know what I mean? Anyway, on that note, you absolute legends. Thank you very much, and as always, for watching. Thank you very much for watching. You truly are making my mental health retreat a reality by simply watching, and I can't thank you enough for that. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode as much as I've enjoyed recording / not recording it at the same time due to rules, unforeseen rules that I wasn't aware of. What is that? Is that Batman, is it? Right, and on that note, all that's left for you to do, you bloody legend, is to take care, and don't you ever forget to bye-bye then. Thanks for watching.